Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining today. We are officially now on episode 2 of Steam and Steel. Definitely still enjoying the game if you can't tell already. You'll also notice that a few things in the track work is a little different, and or are a little different, and that's because sadly I made it and I deleted my save file by accident, so I had to redo it real quick. But I've caught us up. Here we are. Today we're gonna lay a line to the quarry, and we're gonna talk about demand. This is one of my absolute favorite parts of this game, and that is demand pricing. When you sell items, you know, when you buy them, it's all the same price, no big deal. But when you sell them, you get that demand pricing benefit, and it is nice. So essentially, if you deliver an item up to the first 5% is double bonus. So, you know, these beams, bought them for 21 each. Usually they sell for like 5 times with double bonus. So, you know, usually it's kind of technically different per map, but you know, it's within reason. But yeah, so that'd be like 100 per beam, you know, so each of these cars would be $300, but that's only up until the first 5%, so that's 5 items if the industry holds 100. But one of the most beautiful things about this game is, ta-da! You can go to buildings, and you can add these buildings, and they expand the amount of storage you have for particular items. So like, as an example, woodshed. Because I'm driving, you can't see the pop-up, but it tells you, you know, it increases the storage for wood items by a certain amount. I think it's 30. So, you know, build 3 of those, and you've pretty much doubled your storage. Now you can deliver 9.5 cars of beam, or individual beams, you know, at double bonus. It adds up. It really does. Gotta get a little turnaround loop track or something over there so I can run forward, you know, run the locomotive forward like you really want to here. But the other thing that's nice about this game that can help with your demand is when you go to purchase vehicles, everything is unlocked. Oh, and by the way, you should definitely build the train works like immediately. I added a little yard off camera. I haven't finished it obviously, but we'll get there. But you should definitely add a train works before you start buying anything. But yeah, look, all the wagons, they're all available. So we're gonna buy some of those here in just a moment. But yeah, you should totally expand into all the industries as quickly as possible, because every industry you deliver to, except for on the Badlands map, gives you a little subsidy of 5,000, which is great. Plus, you know, small car loads at first. Buy a couple of the different car types that you need, deliver small car loads to industries, you know, and before you know it, you're getting pretty much everything delivered at double bonus, like 5 times what you bought it for. That's a pretty nice profit margin. You know, people have different ways they like to play, and I like switching, and I like you know, general manifest trains. I don't really like unit trains too much. So for me, it's much more about, you know, it's much more about enjoying the fact that I can get trains that I can break up, you know. They're not going to have the same car type each time, and I personally really enjoy that. A little 3.0 section is not bad if you ask me, honestly. Alright, but the quarry should just be right back there if I remember correctly. Let's check the map. Yes. Maybe got a little bit of downgrade work to do. Let's figure that out. So let's do -125 because we're going to the right. Ooh, not on the grade though. My bad. That's terrible. That was going to be real terrible. Yeah. I think I'm going to put a Y in here, so let's go ahead and lay it out, and if I don't like it, I can get rid of it later. Oh, so actually it looks like we have a little bit of uphill to do first and then some downhill. Well, that's fun. You don't want to have the same track all the time. Level's no fun. Let's give it some beans, man. Not 20%. Let's go for 2, doofus. All right. Oh, that's not what I meant. Dude, I am not hitting the right buttons today, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, we're going to have a pretty nasty cut here, actually. Do I need to back up and do 3%? Nah, let's just tunnel through the hill. Who cares? We got money. We got money. I'm going to definitely delete that tree, though. Not even deep enough to get a retaining wall. That's a dub. Probably will this time, though. Yeah, that's okay. Retaining walls are fine. I did find out how to get rid of them and make them go away if you ever end up with some of them like in a yard or something, you know. Which was definitely very cool to experience, I'll be honest. To figure out how to be able to do that made me very happy. That's a pretty quick change of curvature there, but it's going to be just fine. Yes. Some days I lay track well and sometimes I don't. Today I really think I'm in my element, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, look at that. Holy cow. Alright, you know what though? Let's pull the train up. Let's pull the train up. I think what I want to do is have the quarry get serviced out of the yard here. So essentially, you know, any train would have to go to the yard first and then come over to the quarry. It gets its own little local or something, you know. As I develop the railroad more, we'll talk more about individual stylistic train operations. My first save that I ever had on this game, I've connected almost everything, and I've got some really cool operations on there, but I haven't shown that one off, and I won't for a while. That's the one where I kind of test everything. But it's fun. You know, I've got probably 50 or 60 rail cars. I've got, actually, I've probably got 60 to 70 rail cars. I've got 7 or 8 locomotives. Regularly run, you know, manifest trains with like 20 different cars on it. Lots of fun. But as long as we're just a one-man job, which will be us for a while, we're just going to get where we need to go. But yeah, I think I might round that out, you know. We'll see. Well, this haul sure is nice and easy. Looks like I need to double my load of beams next time. Let's bring 10 cars. I think that's the only thing the quarry needs, technically. It's the only requirement of the quarry is beams, and that's beautiful. The quarry is a great early source of access for coal. Everything else the quarry gives you is more or less just something you take to the freight depot, but coal is what it gets you early, and that's just, it's just really necessary. All right. I think I landed that reasonably well. Just to be safe, let's get the 15-foot embankment. There we go. We'll wrap it around the edge, let it lose some elevation. I think we're good to go back to the normal one now. I like to stick to, you know, reasonably accommodating curves. I don't like to kill the curves too much, if I'm honest. I might have to lay a bridge right across the quarry, though. That's kind of funny. Let's do that. What's that elevation? 1,964 feet. Okay. What's the elevation over here, big guy? So, thank you. Had someone comment on my video about placing the track at the industries. Yeah, you just use this 23-foot industry track guide, and I really laughed at myself because the moment that I finished recording that episode, I realized what I had missed there, and I just really laughed at myself because I don't mind laughing at myself. But thank you to the commenter who mentioned that as well for everybody else. So that's a win. All right, let's see if I can wrap this around. I really don't know if it's worth the effort. I might just bridge the quarry. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we're bridging the quarry. That's okay. That's our right switch. There we go. It's going to be a little tighter than 125, but I ain't worried about it. Let's give ourselves some track here. We'll come back and clean up, get some of the later details later. Right now, we're interested in getting the freight going. You know what I'm saying? Trestle time. I didn't really want to build it over this, but whatever. I am not that picky. I do need, though, a bit of a curve. Is 100 too much? That's definitely too much. How about negative 300? That's still too much. We need some curve, but not that much curve. There we go. Straight track. Oh, a little 3%er there, I see. Okay, my bad. Let's delete that. A temporary 3% is not a problem, actually. So negative 300 is fine. Let's do 3% to get it up and moving. Actually, let's do 2%. I think that's going to be okay. What we get here? We get 8%. No, okay. I was just being a doofus. 2.2. That is much more like what I thought. Okay, perfect. All right, let's deliver some beams, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, yeah. Woodshed. I'm very curious as to why it's not actually showing me the pop-out anymore. That makes me confused. When you look at these buildings, it's supposed to tell you, like, you know, oh, it's down there. Pff, I feel dumb. I knew that. Ha, psych. Okay, so yeah, there it is. So yeah, increases the storage for wood products by 30. So if I go build one of these, which I absolutely will right now. Let's see. That definitely didn't go the way I want. That's one of the little glitches that kind of bugs me. You do get about 75% of the cost back when you do something, but when you rotate these buildings, it's a little bit of a small issue. You can't like move them anymore. Yeah, so like once I do this, it's placed. That's it. All right, but now it has 130 storage for wood instead of 100. All right, let's deliver some beams. Demand pricing, love it. One thing I also am really big on in this game is the moment I start buying cars, I'm big on buying the big cars. I try not to ever buy small cars. So like any of the cars where there's a bigger option that will deliver the same goods, I'm pretty much always about buying it. Almost without exception. Yes, they're heavier, but still, it's about capacity. It's about how much you deliver at once. And fewer trips. Trade-offs, man. Trade-offs. Our most excellent little quarry line. So we'll head back to the freight depot after this, and we'll buy a few more state cars. And then I'll be ready for the next run. See, there's that $5,000 subsidy. Beautiful work. And yeah, sure enough, they were coming in at like 100. Like I said, 105. 5 times what you paid for it. Ah, love it when I'm right. It really just means I remembered something correctly, which is pretty rare. We have our moments, right? All right. I will say, be willing to be flexible when you play this game. That way you can change your track as needed. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things like I did with that building and screw up. It's not a big deal. It cost me 900. Big whoop-de-doo. Actually, less than that. Yeah, cut stone, coal, gravel. So gravel, you just take to the freight depot. Cut stone, you just take to the freight depot. You can't do anything with those. But coal, of course. That's something we can do something with. We have some lumber over here, too. I think we do. I think the lumber mill also has lumber. Yes, let's get a car we can get some lumber with. 30 beams. Good. We need to deliver some more logs. So we'll buy a couple of bulkheads. We'll get some longer stake cars, all that good stuff. Wow, not fast enough to throw them off. Ooh, you know what? I should dump them in the yard, actually. Nah, we'll take them for now. We'll take them. We'll take them. Right now, we're trying to make money. We'll take them with us. Okay. Alright. I am, though, going to put them at the back of my train. Just, you know, experience. Experience. Alright, I'm going to do just 2 lumber cars. I like these 22-foot bulkheads. I really like these guys. I'm not going to worry about the color so much. Let's get 2 of them. And then I'm going to buy some of these 25-foot stake wagons. Let's make those a little bit darker color of red. It looks like it doesn't matter on them, does it? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. The boxcars change colors. It's cute. Let's see. They do 5 beams each. So 6 of them would be 30. Yeah, let's do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now to put all this mess together, just to be safe, let's get ahead of them. All right. Re-rail mode. You can click on them as far away as you can see them, but you need to be close to the track to place them. So that does make this really freaking easy, though, I'll be honest. It's just a really smooth system. I'm just gonna be honest and say it. It's really smooth. Re-railing in this game is so nice. Let's see. I want buffers because I know for a fact that these guys are gonna want to come back, but we're gonna kind of cheat. Not really cheating. It's just, you know, using our incredibly massive body weight advantage here to get these cars connected up. Look at that. Man, that is top tier. I've learned that that is the way to do it. When you got a ton of cars you just bought, you should always do it that way. All right, let's back it up. Get them connected. That's a bit hard. Missed that connection. Missed it again. That's okay. It's definitely not hard enough to actually make a connection, but it's all right. There we go. Thanks, buffers. They did their job, as you can see. So yeah, we'll be able to bring back 20 lumber. That's 10 each. Looks like we're going to be able to bring back 30 beams just on those, and then that'll be 15 more. That's 35 beams. That's a bit. We'll make some good money there. Lumber just has to go to the freight depot for now. But also, in the process, we've got to take some logs. See if this is too heavy. Always make sure to shovel your coal. Shovel your coal. Don't forget. Little 2-for-0 here is going to get a nice workout today. Well, seems to be pretty easy carrying these guys up. I think it's a nice gentle 2%. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here, but we will see you guys on the next one. We're going to expand some more operations, get some track laid to some other places, and see where the game takes us from there. So, we will catch you guys out there next time.